Hello guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adams Show. This is the 17th episode and my name remains Adams Luafumi Olajide, and it is a great privilege to be here to be able to see another wonderful day. The past week has been really rocky. I broke down. My health was in shambles. I had malaria. And when I thought I was done with treating malaria, the next thing that came was Qatar, and I'm still trying to like battle that out. But all in all, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this wonderful day, for another new month. The last time we saw each other was the month of February, and now we are in the month of March. Whoop, whoop. 2 months down, and the rest to go. 2021 has been an absolutely wonderful year for each and every one of us if we were to take stock of all the blessings that have actually come our way this month. And I am sure that like you have your own testimony, you have things that I can actually say towards this month of towards this year 2021. Yeah, things may not be all perfect, but then you still have reasons to be grateful. You have life, you get to feed yourself. Things may not be there yet, but you are a work in progress. I am a work in progress, and we have every reason to be grateful. So, I need to ask, how has been your day? How has been the week? How has been everything around you? How is your business? How is your family? How is your career and everything you are pursuing this year 2021? Hope you haven't contacted COVID 19. Like when I told someone that like I had malaria, the next thing the person was asking was like, "Are you sure it is not COVID 19 that like you have?" Well, it is not. I do not have COVID 19, but I am way grateful for life. Okay, so we have some people here at the moment. All right, so we have Nola from Ayepe. Nola, you are in North Carolina at the moment. I don't know why you're writing from Ayepe Jebu, although that's the original source. Yeah, you know. And yeah, Nola was part of our guests last Saturday. Yeah, it was last Saturday when we had the topic on who cheats most. I'm sorry, who cheats most. Nola was one of our guests that spoke on the topic. Nola, thank you for being a part of the show. We have Rama watching right now. Thank you. Rama, where are you from? Can you please let us know your location? We have Motilade also from Ibadan. Motilade, always a pleasure having you around on the show. Thank you for being a part of the show. If you're out there, wherever it is that you're watching me from, let me know your location and let me welcome you warmly. All right, so back to the matter at hand. Today's topic we will be looking at how to deal with criticism. How to deal with criticism. All right, that is the topic for today. But before we dive right in, if you're still out there, you'd like to introduce yourself, please put your name, your location. And if this is your first time of being a part of the show, if you were invited by someone, or you probably like we're just going through YouTube, or you saw it on Facebook, you're probably one of my friends, and you felt to bump in, then please do so well by introducing yourself and your name, your location, put it in the comment section, and let me welcome you specially. Let me welcome you specially. All right. All right, this is nice. We have Rama Abubakar watching live from Ado Ekiti. Rama, thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you. One of the things I like to talk about, before I dive right into the main topic, is have friends that support you. I just want to like use this medium to say a huge thank you to every one of you guys that show up. Foley, Folanshaw Adams, Foley from Lagos. Thank you. Now, all these people that like have actually that have been showing up all this while, actually WhatsApp group members, and they believe in what I do, and they come around and support me. I just want to say a very big thank you from the depth of my heart. Thank you guys for always coming around to be a part of the show. All right, so if we do not have any other person around at the moment, let us dive right into what we have for today. Our topic for today is how to deal with criticism. How to deal with criticism. Now, I'm sure you have probably had this situation in your life whereby you have put in energy into doing a particular thing. You've spent time, you've spent hours, you've spent sweat and blood, right, in trying to create a masterpiece. And then when you bring it out, the next thing you hear from someone is that you did not even do this thing very well. Like, why didn't you do this thing like this? Have you ever had that situation where you just feel like strangling that person? Yes, I know that on a normal ground you should not have that kind of thought, but there are times that you feel as if your ego has been crushed when someone comes to attack something you have actually spent so much time, so much effort, so much energy trying to put together, and then the next thing they just say one word and it tends to want to demoralize yourself. For the ladies, I'm sure that you know how it feels when you cook for someone you love so much. You spent hours trying to make the perfect meal. And then the very next thing that comes out of the person's mouth after taking the first bite is, why is there too much salt? As in, I'm so sure that your head will just be doing ding 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 ding. Like you would feel like getting omorogun, the spatula, and want to hit it on the person's head because it's like all your effort, all your sweat, everything that you put into it, and then the very next thing, the very first thing the person is going to say is that there's too much salt. Like that thing can really, really really, really be disheartening. For the guys, I'm sure that if you've if you've worked on the project for so long and then you had to submit to your boss, and then your boss tells you that what is this rubbish, what did you just submit? You know how bad you feel when you actually I in that what's it called, you you are being quite questioned for the thing that you feel that you've actually put so much energy, and in your own mind's eye you feel that you've given your best to it, and that is nobody is meant to say anything otherwise than to praise you. But when criticism comes in, it has a way of shattering the way your mind is. You are not you most likely will not be in the right frame of mind for the first few seconds or probably the first few minutes. For some people, for the next few days, if you are not conscious of how your emotions work, it can ruin your day for you, can ruin days for you, and you will be totally dejected, totally. And that feeling is one of the worst feelings in this world. I'm sure that each and every one of us, we've all had to go through that phase or the other at one point or the other in our lives. Right now, you have an idea what criticism is about. So let's dive into the definition of criticism. According to the dictionary, criticism is the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults or mistakes. It is the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults or mistakes. One of the examples I gave is the salt that you have in the food. You've taken out time, and then the next thing somebody criticizes that. For me, while growing up, one of the scenarios that I've had as a kid was trying to turn a muscle for my dad, either eba, semo, amala, and then the next thing, after all the energy you've put into it, probably you're worn out, you're tired, and then the next thing, my dad will start picking out the lumps out of it. For those of you that know it as cocoa, he'll start picking out the lumps out of it and say this one, what way, why didn't you make it perfect? That feeling has it has a way of ruining your mood, but criticism can actually be on both ends. It is either to make it better or to demoralize you. Criticism can either make it better or it can demoralize you, depending on the angle of the point you're trying to like look at it from. All right. Now, one of the most, one of the most criticized set of people in the world that we know today would be one, politicians and the government. Like there would always be one form of criticism or the other when it comes to politicians, when it comes to the government, because people would always feel that like the government should be able to do better, politicians should be able to do better than what they're doing at the moment. Another set of people that face a lot of criticism in this world we live in today are religious leaders. You're either a Christian leader, a Muslim cleric. Um, uh, okay, in Nigeria, we don't really like put much emphasis on traditional leaders. Sorry, yeah, we put on traditional leaders. I meant herbalists. Yeah. Another set of people again that like have that face a lot of criticism most times would be top businesses within the country. One of the most criticized companies are MTN, Globalcom in Nigeria, Dangote Cement or Dangote Truck, like whatever accident that happens, if it has to do with a Dangote truck, it would face loads and loads of criticism. Do people have a reason to criticize? Yes, they do. But sometimes criticisms could come from a biased mindset, from a biased angle, not because you actually want to criticize to make the thing better, but because you just have this bias towards a particular product or a thing. All right. And that's why they say that like heavy lies the head that wears the crown. If you are in a leadership position, whatsoever, be sure that like you would have to face what criticism at any point, or yeah, at different points in your life. You would definitely have to face criticism. All right. If you are a business owner, you will face criticism from your audience. If you are the father of the house, the mother of the house, your children would criticize what you're doing. Every one of us, at one point or the other, would definitely have to face criticism, especially when you are in a leadership position. So if you're trying to say that, like, okay, no, I do not want to like face any form of criticism, alaye, or you'll be your case, no, you are going to face criticism. But how do you handle that criticism? That is the most important question. How do you handle criticism, be it in your business, be it in your home, be it in at your workplace, be it at a point in your life where you are in a leadership position? How do you face criticism? Okay, how do you face criticism? Let me get back to my notes so that like I do not jump any part. All right, so there are varieties of criticism or different types of criticism, as it were. I would not be basing so much on it. I'll just be listing them out based on the research I made. One of it is aesthetic criticism, logical criticism, factual criticism, positive criticism, negative criticism, constructive constructive criticism, destructive criticism, practical criticism, theoretical criticism, public and private criticism, moral criticism, scientific criticism, religious criticism, scholarly criticism, critical criticism, radical and revolutionary criticism, conservative criticism, liberal criticism, speculative criticism, foolish criticism, professional criticism, self criticism. There are tons and tons of criticisms out there. These are just the 22 I found online, actually from Wikipedia, and I decided to like make mention of them. So after knowing all this, let us say you have been criticized for something. The first part we're looking at is what you shouldn't do when you are criticized, what you should never do. Okay? Somebody has criticized something that you did, right? Probably at work, in your home, in your business. What you should not do when you are criticized. Before we actually dive into how to handle what? Criticism. So the first part we'll be treating is what you should not do when you're criticized. Number one on the list is never, ever, ever, ever trivialize the criticism. If someone criticizes something that you have done, right, never feel that like is a minor thing. Don't disregard people's opinion when it comes to criticism. All right, when somebody criticizes something you have done, most likely or more often than not, it would be for a purpose. So do not discard that criticism. Never trivialize it. Okay, never set it aside like, Talon Sorrow, who is talking? Who are you? You to me to Nepapo, like who you be. Like, don't ever do that. Because if you do such, okay, let's say the person that criticized you is not worth it. Or what if on the day that like you need to hear that criticism, what if it is on a day that like that criticism would actually help your business to get to the next level it needs to get to? If you trivialize it, if you discard it, then you are going to be stuck. You will be stuck. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part is don't make excuses for what has been criticized. If somebody criticizes that, like, okay, um, this thing you didn't do it well, don't make excuses. Because if you make excuses, then most likely people will be like, he doesn't listen to correction. And everybody will do what? They will leave you to your own world. They will let you be. They'll just be like, no, 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 no. When it comes to that guy, don't go there, don't go there. Don't even bother telling him what he needs to do because he does not listen. Because they know that like you would always make excuses, always looking for who to blame or like who. Okay, no, no, I'm still going to get to that point. But like trying to like deviate from what is like you. There's always an excuse for it. There's always a reason why that thing happened the way it happened. You never want to like accept it. Number three on the line or on my list rather is don't justify your actions, especially when you are in the wrong. Do not justify your actions. That's like I'm trying to give excuses for it, but especially when you're in the wrong, like do not do that. That thing can really, really, really be annoying. Somebody has criticized something that you've done. Yes, your ego was bruised, but do not justify um, your reason for doing it because whoever it is that is coming to criticize whatever it is that like they've criticized is doing that for a purpose. Do not justify it when you know that like now you fuck up. You're still trying to like give reason why you fucked up. Like, nah, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Number four on my list, don't shift blame. If somebody criticizes you for something and then like the next thing, okay, let's say in the scenario where the salt was too much and then like start saying that like you didn't know that like it was salty. You could have as well just tasted it before putting the salt into it. You could have sprinkled a little and like try to see if the salt was enough before you added extra. Do not do not shift the blame whenever you're criticized. It doesn't really go well with people that are trying to like correct the things that like you've done wrong. Number five on my list is don't pretend there's no issue at hand and trying to defect it. A lot of people do this, especially our politicians. They do this a lot. There's a matter at hand, they brought the matter to their attention, and then the next thing they start talking about something totally different from what has been asked. You see a politician being asked a question on air, and then they say that like why is XYZ happening in the country, and then the next thing they start talking about how the other party did not do well during their own time. Like Alaye, that's not what we asked you. We asked you, we are trying to criticize your own regime, not trying to like, not trying to ask you to tell us what the other regime didn't do during their time. It doesn't make sense. Okay. I hope we got that. All right. So, I hope we got that. All right. So, the next on the list is how do you handle criticism? How do you handle criticism? All right. The first part about, or the first parts you need to like look at when it comes to handling criticism is the fact that like when you have been criticized, it has a way of affecting your mental reasoning. When somebody criticizes what you have done, it has a way of like affecting how you think, how you see things, right? So the first thing you need to work on is what? Your emotions. You need to work on your emotions. And that is why people talk about emotional intelligence, right? You need to work on your emotions. That's the very first thing you need to work on. The very first thing you need to work on. All right. Now, in working on your emotions, right? Say someone has just criticized something that like you've spent hours, days, years to do, right? The first thing you need to do based on your emotions is pause. Just stop. Or whatever it is like you're doing at that point in time, just stop and pause. Because if you react based on how it is coming, you most likely would say something that you probably later regret. You most likely say something that like you would later regret on the long run. All right. So you need to do what? You need to pause. Tell yourself that like, guy, I am not going to say anything at this point in time. I am just going to do what? I'm just going to pause and chill. That's the very first thing that you need to do. Okay. You need to pause and do not say anything. There's a power in what's it called okay, like we don't know this law that says that like an action and reaction are equal and opposite. However, it is better for you to first of all pause. Do not say anything. Do not react to whatever it is that has been said, because we are not reactive beings. We are meant to be proactive beings. Take a moment, pause before you do what? Before you say anything. All right? Pause. Now, after pausing, number two on my list is, if it does not require a quick response, move to other things that can calm your nerves. If the criticism does not require response immediately, right? Before your emotional mindset is shattered, just you can excuse yourself and find a place to cool down, calm your nerves, move away, right? You've paused, then you move away if possible. If it is something that like you don't need to like reply immediately, probably like it's a letter or a response to a mail from your boss or something, and it wants to ruin your mood at that point in time, just don't respond, move away. Find something that can calm your mind at that point in time. All right? Find something that can calm your mind at that point in time, because if you react immediately, on the long run, people would always remember what you said, even if after you've forgotten what you actually did say. People will come back to you and tell you, like, dude, you messed up. You reacted in the wrong way. So rather than doing that, just do what? Pause and then move away. Calm your nerves, calm every part of your system down. All right. Number three on the list is, know the difference between the criticism made and other areas of your life. Now, let's say, for instance, I'm going back to the example that you put too much salt in the food. Now, ask yourself, is this criticism coming based on this food alone or as a whole? Because there are times that, like, if you're not very careful, you might want to generalize what has been said to every aspect of your life. So you have to learn to compartmentalize everything that has been said to you. Do you understand? You have to learn to compartmentalize it. If somebody tells me that, like, okay, let's say I cook and then the person tells me that, like, my food is salty, then I ask myself, has my food always been salty? Or is this just a one-time thing? Does it mean that like I am not a good cook? No, I am a great cook. It just happened that this time around the food was salty. You need to calm down and then like think about the whole scenario, everything that was said. Make sure that like it does not affect every other part, every other segment of your life. Make sure it does not do it. It does not affect it. All right. And the next thing is, ask yourself the reason behind the criticism, right? Why did the person criticize uh, my work? Why did the person criticize my food? Why did the person criticize what I just did? What I have spent years of toils and efforts and sweat and money to put together? Why did the person criticize it? Now, more often than not, we have cases whereby um, if people who are not particularly close to us criticize us, we tend to want to attack back because we feel that like, who are you to come to criticize something that like I've put so much energy into doing, right? We want to like who you be like, who, guy, why they come my way to start to criticize what they do? Who you be in the first place, right? But then like you need to like set emotions apart and then ask yourself that like, what angle is this person actually coming from? Is this person coming to give me a constructive criticism, or is this person trying to like bring me down with their words? You need to learn to differentiate exactly where the criticism is coming from. Is it to make you better, or is it to bring you down? You need to get that fact right, even if the person is not close to you, even if you and the person do not really talk. Because many times like we have this thing about people saying things, and because they are not our party, then we tend not to want to listen to them. But if what they are trying to like pass across is to make us better, is to make us improve, then it should be worth listening to. So be ready to ask yourself that like, what angle is this person trying to come from? Is this person trying to like make me better by criticizing my work, or is this person trying to like bring me down by criticizing my work? All right. That said, I hope we are still following. I hope we are still following. I hope we are still following what we're doing today. All right. So that said, let me move on to the next part of my notes. So the first part, the A part of how to handle criticism, I said, is handling your emotions. And the first 4 points that like I just listed out are what you need to do to handle your emotions such that you will not be a reactive person, but you'll be what? A proactive person. Okay. I said that like the first part is pause and say nothing. The second part is if it does not require a quick response, move to other things that can calm your nerves. The third part of my list is know the difference between the criticism made and other areas of your life. Do not let that criticism to affect other aspects of your life. Learn to compartmentalize. All right, that's the word. And number four on my list is ask yourself the reason behind the criticism. Is it constructive or is it destructive? What angle is the person trying to come from? Ask yourself that. All right, now, once we're done with the emotional part, then we go to how do you now respond? How do you become proactive in your response to the criticism? Okay, the first thing you need to do is you need to listen to understand. All right, do not listen to talk back. Listen to understand where the person is coming from. The person said that like okay, you did not do this thing well, or this thing did not come out well. Ask the person, okay, yes, I have accepted, but can you please pinpoint the exact location in this thing that you're trying to like criticize? You just said that like my work is not good, but what part of my work is not good? What aspect of it do you feel that like I didn't do right? Right? You need to do what? You need to listen to understand exactly what the person is saying. Because in trying to like understand the person's angle, right, you'll be able to like narrow it down to the exact point where you need to make amendments. And if you're making amendments, the criticism would make you better. It would make whatever it is that you're doing better. Your business, your life, your relationship with people, it should definitely make you better if you ask the right question. All right. Number two on the list is only reply when your mind is ready to respond. All right. Now, there are times that like people will come to you and they're like, they would criticize a particular thing that you do, and that thing would not really sit well with you. Instead of you replying uh, based on emotions, take time out. Do not respond immediately. Only respond when you are comfortable to respond. So you can as well tell the person that, like, thank you for your criticism. I have heard what you've said. Can you please give me time to get back to you? Let me review everything that you have said so that when I have further questions, I would let you know. I'll get back to you. Or if I need to like ask you for more clarifications based on what you have said, I will get back to you. When you do that, right, it helps you to go back, go through everything that has been said, and then you can ask the best questions or you can give the best response based on what the person has said. You would not just be jabbing, you would not just be blabbering and talking out of your scattered emotions. Do you get, like, your mind would have been settled and you'll be able to give proper answer to the criticism that has been said. All right. Number 3 on my list is thank the person for the observation. Yes, yes, it doesn't sit down well with you, we know, but still thank the person for observing something that you have put time to do. Because more often than not, well, except if, yeah, there's gonna be one scenario, except if the person is coming from the angle that like they just want to bring you down, they just want to like tear you into pieces. But if you think properly and then you feel that like this person is criticizing me for my own good, then thank the person. Because if the person feels like you're appreciative of their opinion, then they would be willing, right, to do it, to also profile a solution to you on the long run. If they say that like this guy they think could like this guy is even happy that like I can actually give an opinion on what the person has done, and the person also, more often than not, like when we criticize something, we tend to also have the answer at the back of our mind, or we have a solution at the back of our mind. But when somebody or when the person that we criticize reacts towards us, we tend to hold back the solution. Yes, we have criticized, but instead of us to like bring the solution, just because the person reacted, like we tend to hold it back. And that is why it is always good to do or to thank the person that has criticized us. It sounds off. It sounds like, no, why would them come? But it goes along. Because whoever it is that could have actually like said what they have said, then they also have most likely have a solution. And this is where like you have to like bring down your ego totally, irrespective of whoever it is that is coming to criticize your work, be it an elderly person, a younger person, or someone that you barely even talk to. One of the issues that we have as Africans is that like, we have pride, we have this ego, like who you be, waiting be your class, waiting you get. Me, I get PhD, you will be saying I just when do you get it? You can't tell me this kind of thing. Like we have that thing in us, and if we know too well, the Bible says that like pride goes before the fall. And if you do not learn to bring down your pride, oh man, like you're gonna be stuck. And we can see that happen to a lot of people out there. Yes, it is easy for them to criticize other people, but for them to take criticism, it is very, very hard because they feel that like they are loftier, they are higher, their grade is higher than any other person that can actually come to correct them. Alaye, bring down your shoulders. You're not the best in the world. Somebody definitely can correct you, and you should be able to listen to that correction. All right. Number 4 on my list is apologize if you are wrong and take responsibility for your action. If you feel that like you're wrong in what you have done, or like you what the person spotted to be something off, if you feel that you're wrong and you see you're wrong, then nothing stops you from apologizing. Own it. Yes, I messed up. Yes, I did not do this thing well. Yes, it is on me. Own up to it. You know, will kill you. Like, it doesn't take anything out of your system. Own up to the fact that, like, you made a mistake. Own up to it. All right? And apologize if need be. Especially when it comes from probably your boss, and then your boss is trying to tell you that, like, you did not do this thing properly. And once you've seen your mistake, Nothing stops you from apologizing to your boss. Like, Augusta, no vex. So I'm very sorry. I'm deeply sorry for making this error. I own up to it, and I am going to make corrections towards it. Yes, you have spent hours, but just maybe you overlooked that aspect. And since it has been brought to your attention, apologize and go back to your drawing board and make the best out of it. It will not kill you. Okay? All right. So, number 5 on my list is seek advice from the person that criticized you. Seek advice from the person that criticized you. All right. Hey, we have Rukayat watching from Belgium. Thank you for being a part of the show. And we also have John Uwa. Thank you for being a part of the show. All right, so I was saying that like the last part is seek advice from the person that criticized, seek advice from people around you that you feel that actually know better than you. All right, so you've been criticized. Do not just like don't carry your shoulder up like people that have shoulder pad. Nah, don't do that. Okay, ask for advice. Always ask for advice. The beauty about being criticized is that it makes you better, it makes you stronger. All right, it makes you better, it makes you stronger. And as such, seek advice so that you can be a better person, so that your business can be better for you, so that your personal life can be better for it. If somebody comes around to criticize you for something, know that like, or like have it at the back of your mind, even if it is destructive at first, do not be reactive. Go through all the process that like I've spoken about, and then be willing to make yourself better. Be willing to make yourself better. All right. On this note, I have come to the end of everything I have to teach. So what I'll be doing right now is a recap of everything I have spoken about so far. All right. The first thing I spoke about is the definition for criticism. I said that criticism is the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults or mistakes. I take it again. Criticism is the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults or mistakes. Right. One of the most criticized people in the world are politicians, the government, religious leaders, and top businesses. And I said that like if you're a leader in any area of your life, know one thing, you would always be criticized. And how you respond to such criticism would show the type of leader that you are. How you respond to such criticism will show the type of leader that you are. And I said that like what you shouldn't do when you're criticized, never ever trivialize criticism. Don't make excuses. Don't justify your actions, especially when you are in the wrong. Do not shift blame. Don't pretend there's no issue at hand and trying to defect it just like how our politicians always do. So, how do you handle criticism? The first part is your emotional part. Make sure that like your emotions are top notch. And how do you do that? One, pause and say nothing at that point in time. There's a word for it in the Bible, Selah. Pause and think. So pause and say nothing at that point in time. The second part I mentioned is that like if it does not require quick response, move to other things that calm your nerves. Because at that point in time, when you are criticized, there's this thing that like our ego is crushed and emotionally you are not balanced and you just need to be in the right frame of mind. So do what? Move away, move to other things that can actually make you calm and be in a better mood. Number 3 on my list is know the difference between the criticism made and other areas of your life. Do not let one criticism make you see yourself as a bad person in every other aspect of your life. If somebody says something about one thing that you have done, do not feel like you're a failure in every other aspect of your life. No. Compartmentalize everything in your life. And if it is criticism, put that criticism in one compartment box. Do not generalize it in every other aspect of your life. Okay. Number 4, ask yourself the reason behind the criticism. Is it criticism to make it better? Is it constructive criticism or is it destructive? If it is destructive, then you know how you're going to set it aside and tell yourself that like, nah, I'm not going to listen to this because this thing is said out of jealousy, out of ignorance, or out of whatever it is that like is not relevant. But you need to be as objective as possible. Do not lie to yourself just because you're not close to the person and then the person is criticizing your work. Do not tell yourself that like, who it be, you know even the relevant. But if that criticism is coming from a constructive angle to make it better, then it is going to be wise for you to do what? For you to listen to it. All right. So um, moving on from that point, I said that like once you have had your emotions set and balanced, what next do? You need to be proactive, right? You need to listen to understand and ask questions. Sir, you said that like you do not like A, B, and C, or you don't like all my work. What aspect of A, what aspect of B, what aspect of C exactly should I work on? You are listening to do what? To understand where the criticism is directed at. All right. You pinpoint exactly where it is that like you feel the person is trying to criticize, not just like generalizing, just ask questions, know exactly where that person is trying to like pinpoint at. All right. That's that. I said like number two, only reply when your mind is ready to respond. Only reply when your mind is ready to respond. So after you've gone through the emotional aspect and then like you know that okay, yes, I am now ready to give a feedback, then talk. Tell the person that like, give me some time, let me think about it, let me go through what you've said, and then I'll come back to give you feedback. There's no crime in it. It is not compulsory that like you must say what you want to or like give a response at that point in time. If you feel that like your emotions are not settled at that point, tell the person, give me some time, I'll get back to you, I'll give you feedback. And that is it. Number three, thank the person for the observation. Always thank the person. Always be thankful for the person's observation. Number four, apologize if you are wrong and take responsibility for your actions. And then number five, seek advice. Number five on the list is what? Seek advice. All right, so Falonshaw is saying that like, generally people don't handle criticism so well, even when it is constructive. Nigerian government is a big example. Yes, I said something like we tend to criticize the Nigerian government a lot, but this time around we are not looking at the government, we are looking at our own lives. It is easy to always criticize the bigger people, but when it comes to our lives, do we also accept criticism? Is it easy for us to come around and say that like, yes, I am also at fault. Yes, I can actually work on myself. It's easy to point finger at some other person, but when fingers are pointed at us, how do we take such criticism? How do we take it? Especially, what's it called? I could remember there was a time when I was an admin of a WhatsApp group for launch. I'm sure, like you know, and then like we were told that like, okay, they wanted a new regime, they wanted new admins to come in. Now, if someone that is not comfortable to take constructive criticism, the person would fight tooth and nail. Yes, I've actually seen in WhatsApp group like, why you come out me as admin? Why but like if people or if the masses feel that like they want a change, then why can't you just give them the change? If you've been there for so long and then like you're not at your optimum best. I hope my English was correct. But if you are not at your optimum, then why don't you allow someone else to come in and put in their flavor to it? For people to have criticized what you have done so far, they're not trying to say that like you are totally bad. They're trying to say that like they want a fresh of breath air. And that is where their criticism is coming from. So it would only take a leader that can actually listen and then say that like, okay, yes, truly, these people actually want a change. Let us give them the change they seek. Let us give them the change they seek. But a lot of people most times do not do so well with criticism. Tiwa Lulua Mokwe, thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you so very much. Thanks so very much. All right, then. So, on this note, we have come to the end of what I have to teach for today. Like, I am so happy because at no point did I have to sneeze. I was actually very much afraid before the beginning of this class. I felt that like I was going to start sneezing intermittently into the class because 20 minutes before the class. The Qatar was strong, man. But then I'm grateful, and I am also grateful for as many of you guys out there that have chosen to come to watch. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. It means a whole lot to me. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. If you have not joined the Telegram group, here is the link to the Telegram group, t.me/the Otumba Adam Show. Make sure you're a part of it, and it would mean so much to me if you can actually invite someone when next we have our broadcasts. I want to believe that like our classes so far, this being the 17th episode, has been a blessing to a lot of people. You have learned one thing or the other. And if there's anything you would want us to touch on, right, kindly send a mail to cooladams25@yahoo.com. You guys do not worry. One day, I will soon create websites, and then like we'll have an official website where you can send in um, information or feedback to us so that like we can make this show better. We experimented with the Who Cheats Most on Saturday, and a lot of people actually enjoyed it. I am thinking of bringing in more things that would actually be interesting for us. So if you have feedback, please do so well to do that. And if you are yet to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please do that. And for you guys watching from my Facebook, do so well by sharing this to other people. Let more people get to learn from this. My name remains Adam Sulwakami Olajide, and it's been a pleasure being with you today, impacting you guys in my own little way. Thank you very much for being a part of this. I do not take your presence for granted. Thank you, thank you. And we'll see again this weekend. From me to you, have a lovely evening and be the best version of yourself. Take care.